Hello everyone, it's Howard from HHC Reviews. Today I'm back with a special set of Submariners, the green versus the blue. So on my far left, this is the Hulk 116610 LV, 40 millimeters. Then the Cermit 126610 LV, 41 millimeters. The first blue one, Smurf 116619 LB 40 millimeters, and the last one 126619 LB 41 millimeters, the Cookie Monster. Now the two green ones are stainless steel metal. The two blue ones are 18K white gold. So right out there's a substantial price and the weight difference. Now just going back a little bit in terms of the history, Rolex introduced Cermit back in 2003 with a K, Kermit the Frog from Sesame Street, hence when they introduced this green bezel to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Submariner, and it had aluminum bezel. But in 2010, the Cermit was discontinued and the Rolex introduced the Hulk with the ceramic bezel. Obviously, the new generation of super case, broader lugs, larger crown guards, etc. And because it also has a green dial, it got the nickname Hulk, right? Then in 2020, Rolex reintroduced a newer generation of the Cermit, if you will, with the ceramic bezel. Hence, the nickname is Cermit, C-E-R-M-I-T, with a C, representing ceramic. And also the size got upped to 41 millimeters. And the Smurf, this first blue one, was actually introduced back in 2008. So it's been out there for a while. And in 2020, just a year ago, they introduced this Cookie Monster, if you will. There are a lot of new nicknames for the latest one. BMW, Sonic, and a few other names. But Cookie Monster seems to be the one that everyone kind of agreed on. Besides the size 40, 41, 40, 41, the metal, stainless steel, 18K gold, and also the case for the two blue ones are all 18K gold. I mean, what do we like? I mean, every one of them look stunning, right? But when you look at them in person, let's take a look at one of them each individually. This Hulk is just absolutely stunning. Green ceramic bezel, green dial. It's just very, very, very beautiful. Has the standard oyster bracelet with the non-polished middle link, which is what I really like. The Cermit obviously is bigger now. It's 41 millimeter, brand new from 2020 with a ceramic bezel. Very, very smooth, very, very nice. Same non-polished link. Besides the size of 40 and 41, these are pretty much all about 12 millimeters thick. And the Smurf obviously has a blue bezel and a blue dial. Man, it is blue, man. So blue. It's incredibly blue. And because it's precious metal, I think it has a polished link. And as I mentioned earlier, the entire case and the bracelet is made of 18K gold. So when you hold this watch versus the Hulk, this is substantially heavier, much heavier, at least 40% heavier, may even be a little bit more than that. Then the Cookie Monster, obviously the latest entry in the space with the blue bezel, black dial, and also full 18K gold case and bracelet. I mean, the stats are pretty similar. Obviously, the Hulk and the Smurf are a little bit older. This full green and full blue are a little bit older. They have an older, I believe, older movement, 31, 35, with only 48 hours power reserve. The new Cermit and the new Cookie Monster They're newer. They're both introduced in 2020. They have a new movement, 3235, with a 70 hours. So basically 1 extra day of power reserve. But in terms of water resistance, it's the same. All of them have 300 meters and 1,000 feet. Now, let's take a look at them individually. I'm going to move this hand back here so they all kind of look the same position. The two green one first. Color-wise, the bezel is absolutely stunning. Almost identical, right? These are the ceramic bezels, and it's just so impressive. When you look at the bezels, they look almost identical in terms of the color. But the difference here is the dial. The green dial with a little reflective coating versus the black dial. Very, very different. Both are extremely stunning and beautiful. Side profile, very similar. Let's look at the blue one. Okay, the 41 millimeter, it is 1 millimeter larger, so it does look slightly larger. And this one, I would say, color is also very, very close. But I think the new one on my right side is the brand new. The bezel does look just tiny bit of brighter. I think it's really, really hard to tell. When I'm looking at it in person, in front of the camera, it's almost hard to tell. But if you look at the watch directly, it looks a tiny bit different. The one on the right, Cookie Monster, is just slightly brighter. And the dial, obviously the black and blue. The blue dial versus, let's take a look at the full color. The blue versus the green. The green you can see from the lighting. There's got the reflective blades of light. And the blue one is more matte. You don't really see any reflecting. Very, very impressive. The weight is ridiculously different, man. I don't have the scale with me today, but the white gold precious metal is just so much heavier. Almost, this stainless steel one in the hand, it feels like nothing. And this one just feels much, much heavier. Now, again, when you're spending this kind of money on such a nice watch, it's whatever you like, you should go for it, right? Whatever other people say, it doesn't really matter. It's your money. You should get what you like, what you prefer. When I look at these four, my initial reaction is the blue, the full blue one, the Smurf, it just feels too much blue. That color is very strong, very, very in your face, right? It's gonna really, really be in your eye. If you really want that kind of attention, that kind of super bright color, this is what you go for potentially. Of the four, I have to say, I really, really like the Hulk. I feel like if I had to pick one, this might be my number one. Price and material aside, just the color, it is absolutely beautiful. And the green, it's not extremely in your face type of color like the blue. The blue is like, wow, like your eyes like, man, that is a strong color. This green is actually quite pleasant, very pleasant to look at. Very, very pleasant to look at. In terms of the black dials, they're both really, really good. They're just, Submariner, nothing special. Green versus blue. Again, the green is stainless steel, blue is metal. I would personally, just my personal, again, I like the green ones, regardless of the metal material and the design and size. My pick will be number one is the Hulk. Number two is the Cermit. Number 3 will be the Cookie Monster. And lastly, the Blue Smurf. But again, they're all exceptional, right? Exceptional watches. And you can't go wrong with any one of these. Now, let's talk about the price. Now, this is where things get a little bit pricey. The Hulk, I think the original retail price when it first came out was 8,900 or a little bit over 9,000. Let's say 9,000, right? Back in 2010. Today, a really good condition one is probably going to run you around $24,000. So that's, double the price, if you will. 9,000 original, today's market price is 24. Very beautiful. The Cermit just came out 2 years ago, 2020, last year. But again, like any sports Rolex watches, unless you have a special relationship, spend a lot of money with the AD and multi-brand reseller, you're not gonna get it. Don't even bother getting on the waiting list unless you spend like minimum 50 to 80 to 100K a year. Don't bother getting on the waiting list. You're not gonna get it. So the retail on this one is 9,550. 9,550. Secondary market, I think you can get a brand new one, or a really, really new one for about 21,000. So, a little bit over double. The precious metal one, obviously, starting price is much more expensive. So as a result, their secondary market markup is also much lower. So this one is original price is, I believe, 38,350 plus sales tax. And right now you can probably pick one up for really good condition, the Smurf, for 45,000. It's relative, right? 15 to 20% markup. And lastly, Cookie Monster. It's also very new. Came out 2020. Retail price was 39,650. 39,650. The secondary market, brand new one, is probably around high 40s, maybe around 49,000. So the markup on the precious metal is always going to be less than the stainless steel version. So here you have it. The legendary Submariner, the Hulk, 116610 LV, Cermit, 126610 LV, the Smurf, 116619 LB, and the Cookie Monster, 126619 LB. Let's just do a final quick wrist shot. The Hulk, $40mm. My wrist is small, 6.5 inches, 16.5 centimeters. It's very light, very comfortable. I mean, it's, the lugs are a little bit wider at the bottom here, but it doesn't bother me. So for me, this is fine. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. Cermit, 41mm, so it's 1mm larger. Can I feel the 1mm? Not really. I mean, almost feel it. You can see the case at the bottom. The lug at the corner here does leave some space because my wrist is small. So, I do feel like this is maybe just a tiny bit too big for my small wrist. But again, very, very nice. 40mm. Oh, this is heavy, man. The moment you put on, you feel like your wrist is dropping. Smurf. Size-wise, it's perfect. The end of the lug, it's pretty close to my skin. It's not like sitting up. And the 41mm. Yep. Pops out a little bit in the corner. You can see the space. So 41mm certainly is definitely too big. All right. Once again, the Hulk, the Cermit, the Smurf, and the Cookie Monster. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and click that notification button. I'll see you next time. Thank you.